Hey everyone, so this is the second video on how to use some of the features of GeoGebra to work with complex numbers. So we're going to go ahead and go right to the graphing calculator. I'm going to input in my little side panel over here a complex number 2 plus 2i. And here it is. I'm going to keep everything as is, except I'm going to change it so it shows the value of it. So in working with complex numbers in GeoGebra, I found that it's easiest to work with some of the features if you define this complex number to be a vector. And so the way you're going to do this is you're going to input the origin to be a point. So you're going to label some point to be 0, 0, and it automatically defines it to be a. And so you're going to then start typing the word vector. And notice that it's going to ask for a starting point and an end point. So I want my vector to start at the point A, comma, and I want the endpoint to be the complex number that I defined, z1. And then if I zoom out, you see that it draws this little vector over here. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to measure the angle. And so if I start typing in the word angle in the little input bar, the first option is object. So I want it to measure the angle of object u, and I go ahead and hit enter. And notice that it gives me the measurement of 45 degrees. And then so anytime I move this point, it's going to also change dynamically. So it's a really fast and efficient way of measuring the angle of your complex number. A couple of things to point out is that it has a measurement over here on the side and also on the sketch. And so if you want to change, let's say, the size of the sketch, if you right click on the angle, you go to settings, then you can change the style so it's a little bit larger. And maybe if you want to change the color, let's say to maybe a green. And then if you exit out, it shows up a little bit larger, and you can also change the color maybe if you want. Give it a little more stylistic visual appeal, I guess. Now, once you have your complex number established, you can go ahead and redefine it to be something a little more MRWC-ish. So if you click on the complex number, and then if you go down to the screen or the keypad that pops up, I'm going to go ahead and backspace and input this to be the square root of 2, and then plus the square root of 2i. But in order to get the square root of 2i, you have to arrow to the right, so you're out of the radical. Otherwise, it's going to put it inside, and it's going to be a completely different number. So once you have the second part, you have to arrow as far as you can to the right, and then I, and then it'll plot it correctly. Now, it shows you again an angle of 45 degrees. But let's say you wanted to measure the distance, the length you have from this origin to this point. What you can do is let me input down here. If you go to the input and start typing out distance, let me click on it. And then you want to input the distance between two different points. So you want it to be from point A to z1. And then you go ahead and hit enter. And then it shows you the value over here on the side, the distance of 2. And then once you have this defined, it's really nice because then you can change this dynamically, and it changes what the distance is. So if I go out to the point, let's say 3 and 4, we know that's going to be a distance of 5 based on the Pythagorean triple. So this is a really nice way to find the angle measurement and also the modulus, or the distance from the origin of the complex number. So hopefully you'll be able to utilize some of these measurement tools when we go through some of the activities for part of our professional development. All right, I'll talk to you.